The Capital One Duo comprises of the Capital One Venture X and the Capital One Savor. And both of these cards on their own are fantastic cards. If you know that already, then you know it. And each of these cards has a different purpose. One of them is going to be stellar card for cashback, and another one, a premium travel credit card where you get lounge access and other perks and benefits that are going to be more geared towards travel and not necessarily cash back, because those miles can be used in more ways and actually better ways than redeeming for said cash back. So in this video, what I'm going to go over is the reason why the Capital One Duo may be worth it for your situation, where if you're optimizing for cash back, it's probably not the best card for you. If it's a pure travel scenario, then you just need one of these cards. You may not need both of them. So let's get straight into it. Look at the earn rate for both of these cards. Cashback, stellar earning rate by the Capital One Savor. You get 3% on entertainment, dining, as well as groceries, and 1% everywhere else. On their entertainment portal, you get 8%. It's going to depend on the scenario if you value that type of, experience. But just looking at it from a straight to the point view on a more daily driver, more typical activities that folks are doing, it's a pretty strong earn rate, and there's no annual fee. The Capital One Savor as well has no foreign transaction fees, just like the Venture X. And when you look at the actual kind of extra multipliers for going through other Capital One travel portal experiences, or similar to how this Capital One Entertainment portal gives us 8% with the Savor, basically with the Venture X, you're looking at 10x points per dollar spent on hotels and rental cars. And you do have a bonus of spend with the Capital One Savor, but it's only 5x, or in other words, 5%. So with the Venture X, you're getting 10x, and if you book flights on their portal, then you're getting 5x miles in terms of your earn rate per dollar spent. So what else is there, right? If it's a great cashback card, you have a great kind of Venture X earning multiplier where you're getting 2 times miles per dollar spent on whatever the heck you spend on. So no specific categories like dining and this and that. You're going to get 2x everywhere. And those 10x and 5x multipliers that I just mentioned through those Capital One portal kind of expenditures, and 1x everywhere else. So here's the deal. If I had to choose why someone would want the Duo, it's going to come down to basically what we said in the beginning of the video. If you don't ever travel or care to travel, or hey, maybe you travel and don't care about lounge access, don't care about anything, stick to the cashback Capital One Savor. It's not that deep. If you're like, hey, I just want to manage one card and I don't want both, but sometimes I do travel and I do want lounge access, but I don't know about paying an annual fee, I don't know if it's worth it, and all those things, right? The Capital One Venture X is still a beautiful card, because although we pay that $395 annual fee, as you probably may have seen in other videos, but to get it straight to the point if you haven't, guess what? $395, you get a $300 in-portal travel credit, so you can buy, hotels, flights, rental cars through Capital One's travel portal. So you're getting, let's say, $300 back. And if you hear like, oh, hey, the portal prices are more expensive than if you go directly with the vendor or merchant, like that's fine, right? But if you leave out kind of the few bucks here and there, which in the cashback game, a few bucks can matter, a lot, I understand. You have basically $300 back to you from $395. Now you're left with $95 in terms of your effective annual fee. And then every year you get 10,000 anniversary miles, which in cashback equivalent, or in other words, if you redeem for travel on the portal, that 10,000 miles is going to be $100 worth of travel value. But the issue is that if you try to redeem the Capital One Venture X miles for cashback, they're only worth every 2x you get, basically 1% of cashback. So if you have 10,000 miles, if you redeem for cashback, then it's only going to be worth $50. And so that's kind of the downside of having, this Venture X setup without having the Capital One Savor. In other words, if you have the Capital One Savor, you can earn 3% pure cashback on those categories with the Savor. But you can also have the choice to transfer that cashback into Venture X miles. And so when you have these miles, you're basically not getting 3% pure cashback, you're getting 3 miles per dollar spent. And how you redeem these miles is definitely going to be up to you. So in other words, if you have like an amazing redemption with Turkish Airlines, for whatever example, right? You can transfer your Capital One miles to Turkish Airlines' program. And there, let's say you find, hey, it's a $1,000 flight, but wait a second, it's 50,000 miles. So right there, that's $500 worth of cashback or $500 worth of travel, but you're trading it for a $1,000 flight. So in other words, 2 cents per point. In English, that basically means that 3% you're getting with the Capital One Savor, you're getting 6% of cash equivalent value. Now, there's another way to look at it where, hey, that Turkish Airlines, flight costs $1,000 on the portal, on Turkish Airlines' website, and on Expedia, hey, it's $750. It's really not 1,000. So am I really getting that 2 cents per point value? I don't disagree. It's basically not the case, right? But if you're really into travel, then you also care about status, perks, getting, loyalty miles for flying the specific airline by booking the flight through their actual website versus going to these OTAs or online travel agencies or third-party portals, etc. So overall, the Capital One Saver has perks for sure. And with no annual fee, there's no downside of actually having this card when you really think about the truth and the fact of the matter, right? With the Venture X, you're basically spending $395, you're getting $400 back at minimum. Like, there's no real question about that if you think about it for a second. And on top of that, you're getting even other perks. For example, if you have no other cards in your mix, you get $120 credit every 4 years towards global entry or TSA pre-check. And if you know, basically if you have TSA pre-check, then basically that's cool. But if you have global entry, you can also get TSA pre-check. So one of these credits actually suffices both, where if you get TSA pre-check, you do not get global entry. So just some food for thought. So with that said, what else do you get with the Venture X? Well, what else you get is similar to other premium cards in the market, where there's the Premier Collection or the Luxury Collection equivalent. So in other words, you're getting some nice properties. If you're into that type of travel and that level of travel where maybe nights aren't just 100 or 150 a night, you're talking like multi-hundreds up to $1,000 a night, you could get some benefits there and some extra perks. But if that all doesn't matter to you, if you keep only the Capital One Saver, you will be stuck in the cashback ecosystem. Nothing wrong with it, but you don't have a duo, basically. But on the flip side, when you do have the duo, you have two cards that are effectively $0. So it's like, why wouldn't you have it based on your situation? If you absolutely travel like zero whatsoever, but maybe you purchase travel for someone else, it could be worth having the Venture X in general. And the biggest thing is that Priority Pass access, as well as the Venture X Lounge access as they grow their network. It's almost like you're getting a product today to grow into the lifestyle that you may have in the future. But if you're already at that, final stage per se or whatever, like for example, say you're like married, kids, pets, all the American dream kind of setup or what have us, right? And you're like, well, hey man, like I don't have time to travel like that anymore. I just need a strong cashback credit card to be used as a daily driver. And I don't have time to optimize and re-optimize and think about this category and that and this and the other. So I think I just need one card. And that could be the Capital One Saver. I would also challenge us to also consider then, might as well have the Capital One Duo, because then once you have both, you don't need to think about balancing all these other cards. So basically, the Capital One Duo almost makes sense whether you have each of the cards as a duo or you have both cards to complete the duo. Now, if you ask me, do you need a Capital One Trio? If you look at the mix of cards, basically, what are there, right? You have the Quicksilver, you're earning 1.5x per dollar spent. Great, right? But when you have the Venture X, you already earn 2x miles per dollar spent. So you don't really need to optimize for that extra 0.5% of cash back for no real reason. But the challenge that I would post out is, well, hey, if you really care about being the perfect optimizer, then you could look at getting the Capital One Quicksilver, earn 1.5% cash back on those cards that basically you're not able to earn that only 1% floor rate, like if you have the Capital One Saver only, or if you have the Venture X, you're earning 2x miles per dollar spent, but you're really getting 1% pure cashback value, then you're basically optimizing for that extra half mile per dollar spent, essentially, which nothing wrong with that, right? But that's where it becomes like, maybe it's a little over-optimized, or maybe it becomes the marginal gain that you're getting. It's like the law of diminishing returns, right? Where each extra input is not giving you that same output. So is it worth the time and the decision making and blah, blah, blah to over optimize on something? Where is the juice worth the squeeze, right? Is the headline. Both of these cards, stellar. I have individual kind of deep dives and everything. I got the Venture X the first day it came out, like all those things are on the channel. I'll leave a couple of videos for your review, per view, all the things. And I love to know who's on the other side to talk with us one-on-one. I have a link in the description below. Love to understand the future of this channel, but more importantly, how I can help you directly, because it's not just credit cards I have some subject matter expertise on. There's actually more in life, as we all know. So with that said, thanks for coming to the end. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.